W.
T. L.
It's a big, hairy American winning machine. You ain't first, you're last.
W.
T. L.
All right, nice, huh? Got a talk show here, talk show with my mic. I got everything.
W.
T. L.
All he does is work out and pick winners. 10 and 2, 85% weekend. You're a mutant.
W.
T. L.
Brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. That stands for Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I am your host, Andy Klassen, for this very special occasion. This is our 100th episode, Jabron.
It is. We are back. I'm the Parlay Pounder, and we'll be giving out picks all night on our 100th episode.
And it's been said a million times before, you know, your first 100, that's the tough.
That's
it's
the tough
all
ones.
Downhill from here.
Everybody says that.
And we've been killing picks anyway, so
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the next 100 episodes is going to bring us. So.
A lot of money.
And our listeners, too, right?
And our listeners, a lot of money as well.
Viewers, everything across the board.
Yep,
So
you got it.
I think we need to dive into the bowl season, right?
College football.
And we got a January 1st bowl, a New Year's Day bowl, and, Iowa Hawkeyes.
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Give them their flowers, right? They did it. They made it.
You can. I won't.
I will.
Yeah.
I will give them their flowers. I mean, because they did pull it off here.
Yeah.
10-3 season. They did knock off the old Corn Huskers, even though they were underdogs to the Huskers, which whatever. But they're still going to play at the illustrious Camping World Stadium for the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah.
They're going to be squaring off against the Tennessee Volunteers, who hadn't. Yeah, not the season they were expecting, 8-4.
Right.
But they are the 8.5-point favorite with a very, very low total of 36. So nothing new for the Hawkeyes.
Nothing new.
Might be something new for the old Volunteers, though.
Yeah, like you just said, Andy, the Iowa Hawkeyes enter this game as underdogs the fourth time this season, and they've won twice. So they're 2-4 in that regard. That total is so low. Iowa is only expected to score 13.5 points. I'm going the over on that because that is plus money right there. Iowa is going to get up for this bowl game a little bit, Andy. So I do like the over on team total for Iowa.
Okay, and I think I like Iowa on a couple different fronts here because, unfortunately, bowl season has really changed the last couple of seasons. It's not really a bowl season. It's more of a portal season.
Yeah.
Season. And Tennessee, boy, they're on the wrong end of this, unlike Ole Miss. Let me run down some of these names. Starting running back Jalen Wright, over 1,000 yards, 7 yards per carry. He's declaring for the draft. He's not going to play. A couple offensive linemen aren't going to play. The premier defensive lineman, Tyler Barron, he's a senior, 10.5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. He's not playing. Let me get to where this really matters.
Okay.
The defensive backs. Kamal Hayden got hurt. He's declared for the draft. He's out. Warren Burrell, he's out. He's a redshirt senior, 91 career tackles. Diego Slaughter, another senior. He's out. Defensive back Tamarian McDonald, a senior nickel back. He's out. Now all their backups are out too. Brandon Turngood, Deshaun Rucker, and Jack Luttrell. All these guys, defensive backs, are out. Now usually we hear all this stuff and you think, well, those are guys that didn't play. Those guys didn't matter. No, these are starters, 5th and 6th year starters, and their backups too are in the transfer portal.
For sure.
For that alone, even though Iowa doesn't have a passing game and their top receiver, guess what, a tight end, is also out. You can't lose that much on your defense and expect that to be the same product on the field.
No, for sure not. Iowa still has a top 10 defense, only giving up 274 yards a game. That does combat with Tennessee, who is offensively very, very good, but a lot of those guys that have been churning out those yards are not going to play, like you said, Andy. I think this spread is just too big. Iowa covers this game. I do believe they probably lose at the end of it by a field goal, but they will cover. I like the Hawkeyes to cover for sure.
I really thought we were going to get it to argue here because I had Iowa covering this as well, just because of all the losses they have on the defensive side. Not that Iowa's been turning out any. Their leading receiver, which I mentioned, was a tight end, only had 299 yards on the season. Less than 300 yards was their leading receiver. And I went to do some research on this game. Before we go on there, we do research
a little bit.
Iowa's headline last 4 days was, we signed a punter from Australia. Their headline was, we got a punter.
That is
an international punter.
Boom.
You can't make this stuff up.
That is their MVP this year anyways, is their punter.
Well, and I guess this guy from Australia is going to be their MVP next year.
I get it.
Should we get into another January 1st bowl?
Let's get into a game that matters.
Oh, ouch. All right, we were talking about Alabama taking on Michigan for the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, Michigan is this line has been tightening up, but it's got down to a 1.5-point Michigan favorite.
Yeah, the Crimson Tide are 5-3 against the spread this season, Andy. Michigan 7-6 against the spread. They don't cover as much as the Crimson Tide, but they are perfect with that record, Andy. So I get why they're favored, but Crimson Tide, in my mind, should be the favorite here, and I think they take down this game. That money line that I'm looking at, plus 110 for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Nope.
That's money. That is plus money all day. That's going to happen. Alabama is in the national championship game.
Okay, don't you think this game is going to get ugly? It's going to be won in the trenches.
Yeah, for sure.
And if we're talking about that, I think the Wolverines, well, they do. They statistically and everything else, they have a better running game and they got a better running defense than Alabama. So if that's your thought process, shouldn't the Wolverines be able to prevail here and win by more than 1.5 points?
I just don't like betting against Nick Saban when he has time to prepare for this game. Harbaugh is going to get a little crazy in this game. Is he even able to be on the side? No, I know he is. But
he's already served 2 suspensions. He should be good to go for the
I just like Alabama, Andy. Nick Saban, greatest coach of all time in college football. He takes this game down by himself. The under will hit, though. I like the under.
Now that's a curious line that you're thinking as well, because the over has smacked.
Yeah.
7 of the last 9 games from Michigan, much of the same for Alabama. 5 of the last 6 games, the over is hit. Why would you think all of a sudden when 2 over teams, hot offenses, would now hit an under?
I just think overall when this game comes down to it, it's going to come back to quarterback play, not turning the ball over, and a defensive just juggernaut game for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I just believe their defense is that much better. They're going to have a game plan for quorum. Alabama all day with the under.
Well, we can disagree there. I'm taking the Wolverines. I do like your idea, though, that this will be a slowed down game that really works into the comfort levels of both coaching staffs.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's okay with just running the ball, so is Saban, and they'll actually welcome that slugfest of a game.
I think so.
It'll be a fun game for those old football purists. Should we talk about a game now that's a little bit more up to speed with that modern-day game?
A little slinging.
The Sugar Bowl. That's the Texas Longhorns, 12-1, taking on the Washington Huskies, who are 13-0. One of those 13-0 teams that actually made the playoff. Can you believe it? That's a good deal. Good for those guys out there. They made the playoff, and all they did was win their conference and win all 13
That's all
games.
they had to do to get in.
But they are a 4-point underdog to the Longhorns.
Yeah, Andy, like you just said, the Huskies' defense has been very vulnerable at times coming down the stretch here, giving up 24 points per contest. I think Texas is really going to exploit this. I love the Horns in this game. I hate Texas in general, but I love them in this game. 4 points. I think they might win by multiple touchdowns here.
Horns
I
down.
just really think Texas is rolling right now. Washington kind of limped into this game. They had a really good game against Oregon, but I just do believe it's time for them to lose.
Gibran, you ignorant schmuck. They limped into a game that they beat the Oregon Ducks.
They did.
Okay, let me lay this out there for you. If Baylor, Kansas State, TCU, and Iowa State, that juggernaut of Iowa State, can all throw for under 300 yards on this Texas defense, I think the best passing offense in the nation can also pass for 300 or more yards on the Longhorns. And if they do that, they will win the game. Petrus is going to do it.
Okay.
I think the odds makers have this wrong. It should be Washington favored by 3 or 4 points, not Texas.
Well, yeah, Andy, that does not make sense. So the Huskies have won 8 one-score victories. It's bound to catch up to them.
Okay. This
is when it does. Texas should be able to control the game with dominant run game and a lethal pass rush. They have 32 sacks on the year. They are going to get to Penix Jr., put him on the ground. This game is Texas Longhorns all day.
So almost nobody dropped back to pass more than the Huskies, right? With that high-flying offense.
For sure.
They only gave up 11 sacks all season. That offensive line is up to the taxes.
Get ready.
There's no injuries there to talk about. Also, the Huskies have one of the most prolific, high-octane offenses in the nation. They lead in big play percentage. More 10-yard or more plays than anybody else in the nation. Texas, on the other hand, gives up as much. Their defense is leaky. They have great athletes, but as always, we say, well, Texas has the best athletes. But, okay, show me.
Okay.
I mean, they knocked off Alabama.
They did.
Then what? Then where's that one?
We're going to see it back to back. It's Texas versus Alabama in the national championship. Alabama's going to get their revenge on it. It's Alabama national champions this year. You can put that future in as well if you want to.
Alabama.
Wow.
So you have Alabama taking on Texas in a rematch. And then you have Alabama taking them down this time.
This is the way.
Oh, you're such an SEC guy, old Big 12 guy, and you're just going to be a full SEC guy.
I am going to be
after
I have to be.
next season there.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
I agree.
Unbelievable. All righty. Well, I think it's about time that we mention some of our sponsors here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Did a little house cleaning. House cleaning? Is that what they say? Let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners. That's the Nebraska Brewing Company. We've been enjoying a Bavarian wheat beer known as the EOS. The unfiltered EOS is a fresh, sweeter style Hefeweizen, thanks to its notes of vanilla and nutmeg. Do you notice?
That's good
stuff.
stuff.
You were on top of that?
I was.
You got that?
I listened to it. It's good stuff.
Nebraska Brewing Company, world class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL. And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabra.
Oh, the parlay.
You got it.
Pounder.
You got it. We back.
We had to bring back the lady boss.
Have to.
Lady boss, Marissa Voss.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, boys. We have to bring it back.
We got some hockey talk, right?
Hockey.
We're going to drop the puck right now.
Let's do it.
There's nothing more, if you don't know me, Marissa Voss, Heard at Sports, and I'm from Minnesota, the real state of hockey.
Yes.
This guy next to me wants to say he's from Colorado, the actual state of hockey, and that's the most fabricated thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Just champions.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough to be a champion and be up here at the same time. Yes.
I'm happy you participated in the ugly sweater contest that's going on right now.
Go.
So that was really good.
You are more festive for the season with that jersey.
Hey, Winter Classic, baby.
There it is.
Might have a few too many edibles from the old.
See, exactly.
Is that what's going on over there?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, we're going to get right into your wheelhouse then,
Yeah.
right? We're going to talk about the Minnesota Wild taking on the Boston Bruins here. Now, the Wild, they kind of had an up and down season so far, right? At this recording, they're 12-12-4, taking on the Boston Bruins. You know, that iconic brand, the yellow, the black. They are 19-5-5. What are your initial thoughts on this kind of matchup?
Well, tonight, actually, they're playing the Penguins right now.
Yes.
So that's the one 13-13-3 the Penguins are, a little bit of the same squad. So Philip Gustafsson is in net for us, and Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be playing tomorrow against the Bruins. Bruins are a great squad. They were last year.
Yes.
Won the President's Trophy, obviously got bumped out in the first round of the playoffs. Everybody was like, what? That's just the trophy curse. But you got Brad Marchand, the Rat, as everybody in the NHL knows. First in the Atlantic, 43 points, third most points in the league. I mean, this is a stacked squad. And you're looking at Dave Pastrnak, 17 goals, 24 assists, 41 points. Charlie Coyle, former Minnesota Wild player, if you guys don't know, one of the third best right now on the Bruins squad. But it's going to be tough. I mean, they're 10-2-2 at home. And the Wild are, I think, not that good. I don't even know their record on away, but I can tell you it's not going to be good.
It's not as good as that. They are 7-3 in their last 10, though.
Yes.
So the Wild are churning up some wins right now. 3 straight as of this recording, going for 4 tonight, like you said. This Bruins team is so good.
So
Pastrnak is one of the best players in all of NHL, fifth in the NHL in points, like you said, and they're a plus 21 in goal differential this year. I believe that these guys are a Stanley Cup favorite. I do believe that they're going to be a wagon all year long. I will take the puck line in this game minus 1.5 over the Wild, just because they're rolling right now.
Now, explain that to me. The puck line, is that like the run line in baseball?
It is.
How does that work?
It's the exact same as run line in baseball. You have to beat the team by 2 that you're favored on. If you want to do the puck line or the run line, you got to beat them by 2. So that's what they got to do. They're going to beat the Wild by 2. I feel bad because, I like the Wild as well, but it's just going to happen to them with one of the best teams in the NHL, plus the Wild are on them back-to-back. So that's going to be a little bit tough.
Do you agree with that assessment that you think your Wild might fall to Boston on a short
I don't think by
rest?
2. I think by 5. I think 5-4.
Okay.
I'm feeling a 5-4. I'm feeling a higher scoring game. Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be in net. He didn't want to play against the Pens because obviously we knew tonight that he was a former Penguin. He doesn't like to do that. He opted to have Gus in net. He's going to be there tomorrow. But I do believe in this squad. You got Marc-Andre Fleury right now, Calder Race. He's the second best rookie in this league. Only a couple points behind Connor Bedard and goals behind Connor Bedard.
We'll get to him. We'll get to
that. But Marco Rossi, you've got Gus, who's absolutely great right now. And just this squad is very underrated in my opinion. Like you said, 3-game win streak. What I saw when I went to the shootout against the Canucks. Mats Zuccarello is stepping up. Brandon Duhaime. We got my personal favorite guy, Connor Dewey too. All of these guys, and missing obviously a key component, Kirill Kaprizov. He got injured last year. Hasn't really been the same. Been off a little beat. So that is, once we get him in the mix, I think we can really work. But I do believe the Bruins are going to win. But I think it's going to be by 1 because. Don't underestimate this Wild squad. They're gritty right now. They're great under John Hines. They really have been, excelling at what they're doing. I don't even think they should have lost against the Oilers and the Canucks. I think that was two winnable games they should have won. So I think they're going to lose, but I don't think they're going to lose by 2.
I'm just saying, I do like the Minnesota Wild as a team overall. I do believe that they do become a playoff team down the stretch here. So I really do like the Wild here, just not in this game against probably the best team in
So do you like that money line better at a -164 rather than the puck line? I mean it's not bad.
That's probably a lock. That's probably a lock.
That's where you want it?
I like the -1.5 for the Boston Bruins because you get plus money with it, Andy. That's at a plus 150 right now. So I like the plus money. A little bit more bang for your buck. But that over 6 goals is probably okay as well.
Yes, correct.
All right. Should we move on to one of the nightcaps?
Let's do
a little later on. The Edmonton Oilers.
Yep.
Just a game under 500 at 13-14-1, taking on the New York Islanders in New York, who are having a pretty good season, right? 14-8-8.
Pretty good.
And it's the same thing, that puck line, 1.5.
Yeah. This is the best player in hockey, Connor McDavid. That everybody just, everybody knows that. He's Wayne Gretzky X. They just love him there. The Oilers also beat Edmonton early in November here, 4-1. So I just believe that there's a reason why the Oilers are favored here. I think they do get the win in New York.
New York.
Wow.
On the road.
I just love butting heads with him because
Let's do
I
it.
do not agree.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oilers are very similar to the Minnesota Wild with
doubt.
firing their coach and then kind of going back and going on this win streak, right? John Hines, and then you also have somewhere in my notes, which I took a ton of today.
Well, how long does that last, though? Win-win for the Gipper,
Well, and that's the biggest thing. So they fired Jay Woodcraft, and then they go on with the, it's Hartford Wolfpack, Chris, I tried to pronounce his name before I got here, guys, and it was like Nobach or something like that.
Yeah.
So sorry if I butchered that. But they've been doing well, and you have Connor McDavid, you have Leon Draisaitl, you have Zach Hyman.
What? Well, are you going back and forth on this one?
Evander Kane. With a passion for my entire life. The dirtiest player in the history of the NHL, Evander Kane. Listen, he put my boy, Jonas Brodin, on the IL long term. We do not have a good relationship with that.
He has championships too, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he's just, that's just how Evander Kane rolls. But God,
he's one of those high-sticking dipsticks.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
Plus, he scored a goal in this game against New York earlier in the year. So I really like him here. The only reason I'm kind of against the Islanders here, Andy, is they have lost 6 games at home in overtime. I just believe that they are going to do this again. I believe McDavid gets them a goal in this. So anytime goal for McDavid is one of my favorite plays as well.
Well, and they are the underdog. They're the underdog at home. So I think that says something as well.
For sure.
All right, should we move on to another nightcap game at the United Center there in Chicago? The Colorado Avalanche. There we go. 19-10, enjoying a pretty good season here, taking on the Blackhawks, who are on the opposite side of that. Only 9-20-1 are the Blackhawks. that iconic brand had such a good run there for a number of years.
For sure.
Now they're on the other side.
Did I say that Connor McDavid was the best player in the NHL?
Pretty sure you said Connor McDavid.
Because I'm pretty sure it's this guy. It's Nate McKinnon. This guy is the man. Second in points with 47, 14 goals this year. They are going to smoke these Blackhawks. The Blackhawks have no chance in this game. The only thing that they have is, like we said, that rookie guy, Connor Bedard. He's the phenom. He is as advertised. They just got to put some stuff around him now.
That money line's at a plus 255. So if you're feeling Chicago, that's a pretty good number to get in on.
I wouldn't feel Chicago in this at all.
No.
There's no way they're gonna lose 5-1.
Yeah.
There's no shot because Connor Bedard is the best. He is the rookie. He's the best prospect we've seen since Connor McDavid. Let's look at it. Leads the team in 12 goals, 14 assists, 26 points, and he leads in goals, assists, and points. As a rookie, that's a little bit unheard of. Obviously, he is that big phenom. But like I said, he's first right now, I think, or first or second or third in the Calder race.
Yeah.
But I still believe there's a couple guys that are better than him.
Probably.
I believe there's Marco Rossi. I believe there's a guy in the Calgary Flames. Let's look at Logan Cooley from the Arizona Coyotes. But at the same time, this Avalanche squad will destroy them.
They will.
They will murder them. You got Nathan McKinnon. You've got Cale Makar. There's a name I want to mention. I don't know if you know him on the Avalanche. I'm going to throw this out there. Andre Pavel.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yes, of course.
Minnesota State. Used to cover him when I used to do sideline reporting.
Okay.
And I was a huge
little personal
fan.
relationship.
Personal relationship. When we were in the Frozen Four in the national championship, I worked with him. Great guy, even great player. So that is one that you're going to see work through the ranks in this Avalanche squad. So watch for Andre Pavel. But, they're going to they're just going to smoke the Blackhawks.
Chicago is last in the Central Division, 9-20-1. Like you said, they just don't have what it takes right now. Their goaltender, the one that will be in net tomorrow night, is allowing over 3 goals per game. The Blackhawks just don't have it right now.
So this is where you got to pounce on the puck line then, right?
Yes,
where the look-ahead line, whatever, get on it.
Puck line for the Avalanche is, minus 105 right now. Jump on that. I believe even the over 6.5 goals is a pretty safe bet. I got Nate McKinnon probably, maybe hat trick? You don't know. You don't
honestly, I feel like that's that's actually a good lock.
It could happen.
A lock?
I feel like it.
You guys are agreeing too much on this final one here. I don't know.
Okay, look at me. You're going to tell me you're not going to go and choose the Avalanche. The Blackhawks are the worst team in the league.
They are.
Actually, that and the Sharks. And that's saying something considering the Sharks, 14 started the season at 14
I cannot watch the Sharks. It's so bad. It's so bad. But no, we're both on the Avalanche. I think we, split a little bit with the Wild. But she's got the knowledge. I'm just learning. So.
And that's why we love to bring you on. You brought so much good stuff there to the table. Marissa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Took a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL. And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I am your host, Andy Class, and joined by
Jabron.
The Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back.
We're back, and it's our 100th episode.
It is.
It's Christmas, holidays, all this good stuff, all this fun stuff. So we also had to bring back a friend of the show, guest
Always.
of the show. Jeremy Odom.
Woo!
Jeremy, how we doing?
Thank you for having me back, and congratulations, 100 episodes. Only one out of every 100 podcasts make it this far.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, guys.
That's
a real stat.
That's a real golf clap there.
Yeah.
We opened the show saying, we're the first 100 are the tough ones. It's all downhill from here.
All downhill.
And we've just been crushing it anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's just so exciting to think about what's the future's going to hold for us at WTL. We got to talk some NFL football. That's why we brought you in. You're a sports writer, you're a comedian, you're doing all these things. But your knowledge of sports betting, we tapped into that earlier, and we had a lot of fun with it, so we got to get back into that.
Okay.
We're going to start with Thursday night. Woo! New Orleans Saints taking on the Los Angeles Rams. They're back in L.A. Both these teams are 7-7. Rams being the home favorite. 4 points, -4.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you think of that?
How many years do they have to be in Los Angeles before they're not just back and they're just home? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Well,
my Chargers have the same problem.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But Rams head coach Sean McVay, he historically has that photographic memory, right? Where he's brought it up, especially during the Super Bowl run. Everyone want to talk about it. He remembers every play, right? That happens. And sports bettors are kind of the same way. They remember all the wins, but more importantly, they remember the losses, right?
Right, yeah.
And the Saints have given us everything we need to know, and hopefully we remember what's going to happen here. They are winless against the spread when they are a 4-point or more underdog, and they have only hit the road over once in 7 games.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. I like the Rams at home.
Yeah.
And the history of what the Saints have given us this year, their resume just tells us exactly which way to go.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult getting behind the Saints here, I think. And I'm a big travel guy. You're going all the way from New Orleans all the way out to L.A., so you're going to have some jet lag there. Early week, watered down playbook, all those things. Jabron, how are you seeing this one?
Yeah, I mean, the Rams have accelerated that rebuild that they started. They would be in the playoffs if the season ended today. I love the offense. It's kind of found its footing with, getting Cooper Kupp back and Puka Nacua at the same time. So the Saints are in the hunt for the NFC South with every other team besides my Panthers. But LA has improved steadily and healthy. I love LA here. I think this 4 points is easy lock. I love the Rams. Give it to me.
I think we're all in agreement there. What about that total? Let's see here. I'm looking at a 44.5. Both these teams have been smashing the under as of late. 5 of the last 6 games for LA, they've hit that under.
Yeah, I'm hitting the under. I mean, the Saints have proven that they won't hit the over, only hitting once in every last 7 games on the road. And the Rams they're going to play down, I think, to their opponent. So I like the under in this one.
Under's a lock as well. Give me the Rams in the under. I do have a little anytime touchdown scorer.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp does get back in the end zone this week. He is at a plus 130 anytime touchdown scorer. Give me Cooper. He's getting in there.
Like that plus money with Cooper Kupp. You can't go wrong.
It's
can't
easy.
go wrong,
It's
right?
easy.
Okay.
Easy money.
Let's move on to December 23rd. That's Christmas Eve. Eve. That's the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. A couple teams sitting around 500 once again. You talk about parity, NFL. Boy, do they do that right. Steelers 7-7. Cincinnati Bengals 8-6. The Steelers are a home dog at 2.5. Jeremy, how you feel about that?
Well, the Bengals quarterback, Jake Browning,
oh my gosh.
He is on a 3-game streak of hitting the over.
He's got the cats
Bengals
purring.
offense of
He's
hitting
got
the over.
the cats purring.
He's comfortable. And when a quarterback or really a player of greatness feels comfortable, they have to find weird ways to motivate themselves. Last week, he motivated himself by looking at the other side and saying, the Vikings, you guys cut me. Yep. I'm going to beat you. And he did, right?
I think he said the F word, too.
I don't know about that. I won't put words in his mouth.
It's Christmas time.
Okay.
We're not going to get there. But Jake Browning's leading the Bengals.
Yeah.
I like what he's doing. I don't like the Steelers. But one thing is, when you have greatness, you have to find ways to motivate yourself. A lot of people don't know this. Jake Browning once, in 2018, was in line at a coffee shop. There was a guy with a Steelers shirt on. He gave him a side eye. He's never forgotten. So,
oh wow,
there is motivation
he's
here.
Really digging.
There is motivation here. I like the Bengals.
Is he going to call that guy out in camera on the sideline?
Post game.
After
the win. He's not going to jinx it. Come on, he's not crazy.
You can't jinx that.
Yeah.
But the Steelers may go with Mason Rudolph for this game, Andy. And
they are.
No matter how bright Rudolph's nose is this Christmas, they cannot beat the Bengals. The Steelers are going down. They're moving in a totally opposite direction than this Bengals team. Like we said, Jake Browning has this motor going good for the Bengals, ready for Burrow to come back. So I really like the Bengals here. 2.5 is easy. Money line is a lock.
I mean, it's a road game. It's AFC North. There's a couple of rivals here that has predominantly been, dominated by the Steelers. I get a kick out of the chirping from Steeler fans saying, we got to get rid of Tomlin. We got to get rid of Tomlin.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Chicago will take him. Chicago Bears will take him.
Carolina will take him.
I'm just fine with that. What about this total 38.5, Jabron?
This is tough. This is tough because I just don't see Pittsburgh scoring at all. I don't think they'll score. So I got to go with the under.
You're thinking the under, aren't you?
I have to go with the under. I'm thinking like 28-3 Bengals.
Now, on the flip side of that, Cincinnati has smacked the over 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, including 3 in a row. With Browning getting more comfortable. They're averaging 26 points a game. I don't know. I think the Steelers can put together enough offense to get us to the over.
Let's do it.
All right. So we got a little split there with the over-under. All righty, let's get on to the nightcap. A 7 o'clock kickoff. The Buffalo Bills, kind of a resurgence to their season. The up-and-down Bills are sitting at 8-6 now, taking on the Los Angeles, that's their hometown, the Los Angeles Chargers at SoFi. Chargers, I think they just let go of their coach, right?
Yes.
They're 5-9.
Yep.
And they're a 11-point dog at home. Jeremy, they're your Chargers. What are your initial thoughts here?
Somebody's got to claim them, right?
Yep, somebody's got to do it.
Yep. You put the best game in primetime, I think.
Okay.
You put the best game on primetime, and you put the best game on Peacock.
That's right.
That's what you do.
Just shove it off to me.
If you want to watch football, you'll find it.
Yeah.
The thing is, the Bolts, they're 5-9 straight up, but they're also 5-9 against the spread. Normally, you see a coach get fired, a team that's struggling, a team that looks unmotivated, and they certainly looked unmotivated last Thursday night.
Yeah.
Usually, you see a bounce. You see energy. You see, especially when you have a veteran team, you see guys who want to showcase what they can do and what can be. That's not the case this week. That's not going to happen Saturday night. It's going to be Buffalo. And it's going to continue to be a quarterback leading the Chargers that is not prepared to lead the Chargers Easton Stick. So
Easton Stick.
He's a local boy. I mean, I love him for that, and I'm going to cheer him. And
Junior Jays.
He's QB1 now, but they are not prepared for this Buffalo team that looks like they are heading towards the playoffs.
Yeah. You nailed that one last week with Easton Stick, and I was trying to give him some flowers and all that stuff. He ended up putting together a really nice game, but that was kind of fool's gold. That's like taking a Detroit, quarterback in fantasy football a couple years ago. Where, he had 270 yards. Well, that was garbage time.
Garbage time.
But when it mattered most, those turnovers, everything that you thought from a young quarterback. And Buffalo, it looks like they turned. Yeah, it looks like they really turned things around.
Like I said, you have a better chance of finding this on your TV on Peacock than the Chargers do of keeping this within 2 scores. It's not happening. The Bills can just give the ball to James Cook. He's going to cook for 60 minutes. He'll probably have over 250 yards rushing. 3 touchdowns on this Chargers defense. I'm leaning big time Bills, and you know what? That under too.
Really?
The under
too.
No.
42 and a half.
I'm thinking Bills
when you're
30-3. That's it.
I love you, Jabron, because you talk about how it's going to be an offensive spectacle, then you go smack that
on
under.
one side. On one side.
That's the thing, is much like last week, the Chargers will put points on the board. So the over at 42 and a half seems like something that is attainable. Because Buffalo's going to take up most of that, right? But it's going to be much like last week against the Raiders. Stick's going to get some garbage time. I mean, this team is still talented.
Those points score towards the total.
They do?
It's good. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, geez.
The garbage
time. I am definitely more on the Bills than I am on the under. So I've just grown immune to this 14-point road victories this season. If you would check out the 49ers, it happens a lot.
It does happen a lot. And Buffalo, they're only 3-7 against the spread their last 10. So even though they're winning games, at the beginning of the season, these are games that we expected them to win. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. There's a crazy stat out there that after an NFL team, even a college team, fires their coach, the next game they win like 64% of the time. Like they win one for the Gipper. You don't see that happening for the Chargers here?
I really don't. This team seems like they're just preparing for vacation, which is coming very, very soon for these players.
They don't have to worry about
normally I would feel the same way. You get excited when the team fires a coach. You want to see what they can do and what's coming next.
But we're getting that plus 500 money line for the Chargers. I mean, maybe a $10 spot on it or something.
Ooh, a little sprinkle.
Normally when there's
maybe a Christmas present for you.
A double-digit underdog in the NFL, it's like pound that, right?
Yeah, pound it.
No, I don't know. Part of me too, as a Chargers fan, I'm heavily going that they won't cover.
Yeah.
Hoping I reverse this. And they
Yeah.
do.
Ooh, there we
Make
go.
it into
Okay.
existence.
I'm kind of playing that
Okay.
angle too. So
Yeah, all I got to do is put a little bit of your hard-earned cash on it to reverse it. So
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there.
That's
Smart
the way
guy.
it goes.
Chicago Bears
so
fan.
I agree. I agree.
I get it. Well, Jeremy, can we get you to stick around for one more segment?
absolutely.
All righty.
Yeah,
Well,
love
let's
to.
take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Nebraska Brewing Company. World class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
W.
T L
It's a big, hairy American winning machine. You ain't first, you're last.
W.
T L
All right, nice, huh? Got a talk show here, talk show with my mic. I got everything.
W.
T L
All he does is work out and pick winners. 10-2, 85% weekend. You're a mutant.
W.
T L
Brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. We are enjoying and celebrating our 100th episode.
Yeah.
I am your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
the Parlay Pounder.
You got it. You got it.
And we had to bring Jeremy Odom,
Had to.
senior sports writer and
Yep.
professional comedian. Can we? Is that good?
I have been paid a few times.
Yeah,
so,
so
I think that counts.
There we
Yeah,
go.
professional.
There
We'll
we
take it.
go. A man of many hats. So we've had you on before. Had a lot of fun. So we had to get you back on.
I appreciate you inviting me onto the show. This is awesome. Of
course.
What a great show. 100 episodes. What
Yes.
a great milestone. And looking forward to the rest. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're having a lot of fun with it. So let's keep that ball rolling. We got a triple header. Boy, the NFL does this right, don't they?
They do.
It's like the gift that keeps on giving it, but it's a freight train that's just running everything and everybody over.
Yeah.
And as soon as you give an inch, high school football is over. College football is not on a Saturday. Okay, we'll take Saturday. We're the NFL. We got you.
Yeah.
We got it all. We got 32 teams. We'll figure it out there. So anyway, we got the Las Vegas Raiders heading on over to Kansas City, where the Chiefs, they're a little hot right now. They're a little agitated, you could say.
Yeah.
They're a 10-point favorite in a conference game at home. That totals at 42, Jabron.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, to start Christmas Day, this is the first one of the triple header. What I'm really looking at here, Andy, is given the money line is so bad in sway of the Chiefs, and I just don't like them covering this 10 points against a division rival. They always play down to the Raiders. They do it every time. But Kansas City has won 6 straight over Las Vegas. The Chiefs are also 7-1 on the under in their past 8 home games,
Yes.
and 9-5 on the under this season. Give me that under 43 points where it sits at right now.
Wow. You don't always hear that out loud, Chiefs and the under.
I'll
Jeremy.
do it. I'll do it all day.
What are you thinking, Jeremy?
You know, as a Chargers fan, this Raiders team's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, if you've seen last week 15 game, but the Raiders look elite. The Chiefs have been kind of offensively just kind of puttering.
Yeah.
They look elite. I mean,
They do.
They look like a team that they did this on purpose
Yep.
and weren't against the team giving up.
I agree.
No, this is one of those things where when an NFL team is a underdog by double-digit points, I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Raiders here. They
Me
usually
too.
keep close with the Chiefs. Those games are tough. They've had an upset,
Yeah.
too, here in their past, especially when they're in a big-time game that a lot of people are watching. This is the only game on. So the Raiders will be up for it. I like their motivation and their spirit right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love them covering. I don't know if they win outright, but I love them covering.
I like the cover. I do believe the Chiefs get it with a field goal probably at the end. But this Max Crosby character does get under Patrick's skin. He really does. And Patrick will probably find a way to win this game, but he is going to be mad with this pass rush all game long. I do believe the Chiefs win. Give me the Raiders covering, though.
And you guys are talking about how, Raiders have been playing maybe better as of late, and Chiefs, you're like, wow, is that up, down? Where are we going with these guys? And this is a high noon kickoff on CBS to get things started on Christmas Day. Talking of what have you done for me lately? Las Vegas, they have covered 4 of the last 5 games. However, 6 of the last 5 against the Chiefs, they have not covered. So gives you a little moment for it to pause, especially with this being on the road. But you guys are going to be steadfast leaning on the Raiders.
I believe so. And I don't even know if Taylor Swift's going to be at this game. You think she's donating her Christmas to this game? I doubt it.
I had actually heard that if you live in the Kansas City area and you leave a red scarf on the front door handle, the Chiefs will cover for Christmas. I heard that is actually a thing. So I don't know. Some Chiefs fans.
Here we go.
I don't know.
What era are we in now?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Darn
God.
it.
All right, let's move on to the 3:30 kickoff on Fox. That is the Giants. This is an NFC couple teams here. The Giants taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles continue to fly high at 10-3, although they've had a couple of hiccups as of late. Everyone's talking about Jalen Hurts and the illness. All signs are pointing towards he's going to play. He's going to gut it out. But we saw that with Mahomes. He had a pneumonia or a similar type of thing that they're comparing to Jalen Hurts here, and he did not look like himself a couple weeks ago when he tried to gut it out and play through it. So you got another wide point spread here, a divisional game. 10.5 is what we're looking at right now. The Eagles are your favorites.
Well, the thing with the Giants right now is that DeVito, is he going to play?
Danny DeVito.
He got whacked. He got whacked last week.
That's right. He is floating in the river right now.
He is.
If DeVito isn't on the field, it may not even matter. It doesn't matter what the point spread is that the Eagles are going to cover. But Hurts, you talked about hiccups. Isn't that what he has? He has the hiccups, right?
It's something like that. It's something with his chest.
So I think he'll be back, by then, obviously.
Okay.
And in fact, there's a chance he plays Week 16. So I do see him coming back. I love the Eagles here.
Okay.
They need a get-right game.
Now,
they are desperate for a get-right
They're
game.
playing tonight, obviously. Probably beat the Seahawks this tonight as well. But like you said, Jalen Hurts should be fully healthy at home next week. And they really need this game to keep pace in the NFC East to keep ahead of the Cowboys. And if needed, that wild card as well. So Eagles are going to smoke these guys. DeVito era is gone. Giants are dead.
Jeez. You guys are quick
Eagles,
to throw some quarterbacks.
All day.
I don't know.
All day.
The look-ahead line, the early line opened up at 7.5. Now it's already to 10.5.
For sure.
Could it get – where does that end for you? 11.5, 12.5? Could it get to a point where you're saying, okay, take the Giants?
I really do believe that this will get to 13.5, 14 points. So if you're on the Eagles, do it now. Do it earlier in the week because it's going to happen. It's going to be 2-touchdown favorite for the Eagles. But the Big Blue has lost 10 straight at the Link, and, Santa won't be booed this year in Philly.
So with DeVito now sleeping with the Vishes and no offense for the Giants, do you think that 43.5, you're going to take that under? You guys looking at the under?
I love the over, actually, personally, because I think the Eagles are going to pile it on. I mean, and that's going to primarily just come from Philly. So.
That happened last week. You had a really good parlay going to you, and you said Miami could score 35 by themselves.
They did.
They scored 30, but you didn't get any help, and that's where it ended.
No, I think this is a little different. I do believe Eagles do put it on them. Giants get a garbage touchdown here or there. This over is, I think, pretty safe.
You like that? You like the over?
I love the over.
Okay. Now, the NFL, we talked about how they do it right. They saved a pretty darn good game here for prime time. 7:15 kickoff on ABC, Christmas evening. The Baltimore Ravens, sitting at 11-3 right now, are taking on the San Francisco 49ers, who are also at 11-3. 49ers are a home favorite, 5.5. I love how that's off that key number. It's attracting a lot of action.
Yeah. First thing right out the gate, the only thing that you can lock on this game is CMC anytime touchdown score. Whatever the line's at, just clock it in because it's happening.
Well, he had that one game out of 43 games where he didn't score a touchdown, though. Yeah, I remember that.
You speak like somebody who has one of your fans.
I do.
Yeah.
And I used to have him on my actual team, too, so it's all going to come spiraling down for me here. But no, this is most likely a Super Bowl preview. This is as close as we're going to get with two teams that are playing like this right now. These are the only two NFL teams that have gotten consistently better, I believe, during the season this year. And these are, the battle of two MVPs here with Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson. So this is everything hyped up to be. I do like the Ravens to cover.
It's crazy to hear Purdy MVP.
Yeah.
It is. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. Now, 4 of the last 5 times that these two teams have squared off, the 49ers have covered. Does that sway you at all, or is this a new season, new team, new slate?
Well, I just don't think it's so hard to pass on the Ravens getting this many points. Getting 5 points is what I'm seeing, Andy. And even in Santa Clara, Baltimore has covered 7 of 9 as underdogs this year. Woof. I love the Ravens. They just cover. They just cover.
It's just such an ugly offense, and ugly's good, right?
Yep,
but I mean, a lot of times it's scrambling, it's a quarterback making something happen, and this, I don't know, this isn't a defense that I necessarily like my quarterback trying to pick up yards.
No doubt.
This is an elite defense, right, with the 49ers.
The Ravens offense hasn't looked pretty since Joe Flacco was quarterback and he had that chiseled chin.
The Browns quarterback.
Yeah.
That guy.
The Browns current quarterback.
He's winning games.
Yeah, but I love the Ravens keep this game close.
Yeah.
I love the 49ers to win outright. But to cover, to get 5.5, that's easy money.
5.5. I do believe maybe people even bet this up and it gets to 6.5, 7 points by the time Christmas rolls around. So I really do believe a lot of people are going to be on the 49ers. I do believe the Ravens are a sneaky play this weekend.
All right, Jabron, you gave us a player prop with the CMC. Anytime touchdown, you have to have a parlay.
I do have a parlay. It's a 3-teamer about teams that we haven't talked about yet tonight. I am on the New York Jets against the Washington Commanders. -2.5. I believe they got it. Maybe Santa Claus, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, will make an appearance. If he does, this is a lock. But no, I love the Jets over the Commanders. Commanders season's over. They don't care about anything. Next time, moving on to the Detroit Lions over the Minnesota Vikings. Same way with the Vikings. Season's over. Doesn't matter. Lions roll these guys. It's only at 2.5 right now. To end this, it's the Green Bay Packers at the Carolina Panthers. Gonna smoke them.
Whoa.
It's only at 3 right now. This is free money.
The Panthers just won a tough gut check game in the rain. What are you talking about?
With 40 people in attendance.
I thought it got up to like 55 or something.
No, this is too free. If anybody wants to win some money this week, put a whole bunch on the Green Bay Packers. They are going to roll the Carolina Panthers.
And that's not a bad idea, too. If you wanted, you could do 3 straight bets and feel pretty good about that.
For sure.
Run down that parlay one more time.
You got the Jets by 2.5, the Lions by 2.5, the Green Bay Packers by 3. Putting $25 on this, Andy, to receive $100.
Feel pretty good about that. Jeremy, what do you think on that?
I love the parlay. I think it's going to hit.
It's going to hit.
And generally, I see it all the time on X that, Jabron has hit
another parlay.
And I'm like, let's go.
Smack it.
And I hope Aaron Rodgers shows up.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I had heard, though, he's moving to Alaska because
Really?
it's
Yeah,
dark.
the
They
new
have that
NFL
period.
team in Alaska.
Nice.
They have that period where it's really dark.
Okay,
so
that's-
it's like, so, yeah.
That's how he is.
That's where the Chargers are moving next.
He's out there. Charger. Is he going to sign with the
dark in
Chargers?
LA.
It's dark in LA.
Very dark. Very, very dark. And too bad we had to end it on such a
We
dark
did.
note.
Yeah, that's my bad.
No. We are running out of time here, but Jeremy, I can't thank you enough for hopping on with us and celebrating this 100th episode with us.
Absolutely. It was a privilege to be here. Thank you very much.
We also got to thank the lady boss, Marissa Voss, for talking a little hockey with us. She does a little bit of everything for Hurrdat Sports, the empire, the media empire that is Hurrdat. Jabron, the parlay pounder. I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you all for listening and sticking with us over our first 100 episodes. Hopefully our next 100 will be, just about as good or just right there, maybe a little bit better.
A little better.
For Andy, thank you all for listening to WTL. This has been our 100th episode of Where's the Line?